Hey, what's up, guys? Gonna be doing a WTF review for Vice Versa here. This is one I had virtually not even heard of. This is another body swap movie from 1988, one of the many that came out, and never heard of this film before, but I've checked it out and I actually like it quite a bit. I watched it like probably 4 times in the past couple months since I got this disc, and really entertaining flick. It's probably, I would say it's an underrated comedy from the 80s. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. But the body swap in this is different than some of the other films. There's this weird skull thing that Judge Reinhold's character winds up with. Marshall, in the film, he works for this like retail company, and he's basically going out and trying to find things to bring back to the U.S. and mass produce and sell for his company. But something happens and his package gets mixed up with another lady. That's Swoozie Kurtz. She's trying to get this back from him the entire movie, but the son, who is kind of doesn't spend a lot of time with his dad, doesn't really get along a lot with his dad. Fred Savage's character, he just cares about like playing music and having a good time, and his dad's all straight laced and like things to be in a certain order. But they swap bodies by holding the skull, and it's odd because you actually get to see Fred Savage grow tall, and then Judge Reinhold shrink down into the body of a boy, and Judge Reinhold, the son, when he transforms into his dad, he rips the clothes and stuff in the transformation sequence. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's from that point on, it's just basically the normal beats you would see that a lot of these other films have as well, where you have a child in the body of a man, of a man, and a man in the body of a child. There's a lot of that would go like there's a lot of scenes where Fred Savage is like drinking a martini and like just yelling at people. It's pretty funny. I think that's worth it alone. But Judge Reinhold is like this grown man acting like a kid, wanting to play music and stuff. I think the best scene in the movie for me is when they're in the mall area, this music store, and Judge Reinhold goes in there and he's just talking to this guy on the this odd guitar that he's playing, and he's like, "Oh man, that's pretty sweet." And he's like, "Hop in, I play drums, hop in there and back me up." So they start rocking out. They're just like jamming in this mall. I think that's probably the best scene in the film. It's a lot of fun. But this film's like a Where's Waldo of character actors from around that period of time. I mentioned Swoozie Kurtz is in there. Jane Kaczmarek, who I primarily know from Malcolm in the Middle, she plays the mother in this film, so you get to hear her, running her mouth through a good bit of the movie. That's how I, instantly recognized her from that show, from her, piercing voice. But yeah, really, just a lot of fun. Let's see. There's a Voltron figure that Fred Savage has in his room or whatever. That is like it's not the metal Voltron figures that could actually go together. The little tigers that were metal. I wanted that when I was a kid, but I never had it. This is it's basically just one big piece of plastic in the shape of Voltron that is radio controlled. And I had that, and it was not very good or anything. I just recognized it immediately when I saw it in the movie. Much like in Big, I saw a lot of toys that I had in there as well. Just, takes me back to those days. But yeah, I'd highly recommend you guys checking this flick out. It's one I'm glad I saw because I really have a lot of fun with it. And there's this band in the film called Malice. And I've looked it up. I can't figure out if Malice is a real band or not, but they actually put on a show in the movie, and they go to it, and he's all about Malice the whole time. But lots of odd scenes in the film I thought were weird, like this at the end of the film when they switch back, it's they both get naked, and they're just like sitting there naked, like about to hold this skull to try to get their bodies to swap back. I thought that was kind of odd, but yeah, great flick. I'd highly recommend it to you guys to check out. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll have another review up for you soon.